Good afternoon, welcome to another Restart Your Business, Recharge Your Life. Today we are with our member, Olga das Neves. Welcome, thank you for being here with us. And you're going to talk about how to control your thoughts and your life when we are in critical situations or situations that we don't know, right?
Yes, thanks Alit for the invitation. Thanks to Avila Spaces for the opportunity of being here and share my life experience and my life lessons that I think can be beneficial and helpful for many people nowadays, especially since we started these last 2 years that have been very challenging.
Yeah, so we're going to start maybe talking about yourself. So you were born in Venezuela, but then you moved to the United States, to Miami, and then you came to Portugal. So I would like to know how was all that journey in those countries, because there are really three different countries, so how it was experienced.
Yeah, well, as you said, I was born in Venezuela, and this journey really started in the year 2013 when I decided to go to United States, and it was because part of my family was already there, my uncles, my cousins. Mm-hmm. So they asked me, why you don't come and try and see what happens? And I say, yeah, why not? What do I have to lose? Anything, in fact. So I have to make a parenthesis here and said, like, as many probably of the people that are hearing us know, Venezuela now it's under a very strict regime. However, by the time in the year 2013 was not yet that bad. So still I could plan to leave the country, to sell my stuff, and also have to say, in Venezuela, for example, you, like in any other country or democratic country, you cannot go to the exchange store to buy dollars, right? Okay. So you have euros, you want to go to buy dollars because you want to go to United States. No, that's not possible. It's illegal. So by the time we have a program in which the government allows you to buy cheap dollars, cheap rate, just if you were going to study abroad, or you need medicines, okay? Or import products to the country. So there were the only three exceptions why you can do that. So I was very lucky. I decided to go to study there English because obviously it was the cheapest thing and the fastest visa to get and go there. So I got this cheap rate to study abroad, pay the school, and it was wonderful. So the first year I arrived there, I started studying. I was also, I have to say, when you are there as a student studying English, you cannot work in the United States.
Yeah, because you have like just otherwise you will need a work visa.
Yeah, you will need a work visa, or the only exception in which you can work is you are in a career, you are in the last year to work. So okay. So I went there. It was great. I was receiving this money from the government, my money, but in a cheap rate. Yes. And I was super lucky because I was involved in a project for a magazine run by some Venezuelans there. I found a boyfriend, so everything was fantastic. But after a year and a half, all that crashed, all that failed. My life was completely upside down.
Why? And also you were in another country.
What?
You were in another country, so it was
I was
for
in
sure
United
10
States.
times worse.
Yeah. So the project, the magazine didn't work out as they were expecting. Okay, a different country, a different market, not what they used to be in Venezuela. This program called Caribe, run by the government, closed. They stole all the money. Really? All the students abroad, we end being without no money, or with the budget we expect to pay school expenses of around for 4 or 5 years. So, and my relationship and my car broke, my computer, everything. I say, what the hell is going on here? How is this happening? How is this that I left my predictable, quiet life in Venezuela, working for a pharmaceutical country, to come through all this mess, all this chaos in my life, right?
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, life has to continue, right? So,
and then you plan to go back to Venezuela?
So by the time Yes, I was lucky in the year 2017 to go back to Venezuela. So we are speaking about 3 years that I wasn't in Venezuela.
So you kept after that thing of the visa happened, and you stayed there still in the States.
Yeah. But I was lucky to go to visit my family in Venezuela that year. You know, in the middle of that chaos, that disaster, everything upside down completely, I was able to get my passport to go back to Venezuela for a visit purpose, which is also part of this complicated situation we have in the country when you are in this type of regimes. In a country where there is lack of everything turns into a black market. So to get a passport, it can be a roller coaster in life. Why? Because something that can be a right as a citizen, it can be so hard to find. So after a long time, I got my Venezuelan passport, so I could enter to my country. Because otherwise, if you don't get a normal passport or normal channels, you have to pay even $1,000 to get a passport, just to give you an idea how complicated normal things can be in this type of regime. Anyway, so I was there. I was super happy to see my family, to recharge my energy, and think, okay, so now what, right? I am there. I cannot work in the United States because I'm a student. I have tried a couple of things. It didn't work out. So, well, then I realized, I thought, should I go back to Venezuela? What should I do? But I realized my country was gone, completely gone. The Venezuela I left wasn't there anymore. Yeah. So why? Because even though we are not in a war zone, we are not being attacked or bombarded, receiving bombs.
I know, but it's another type of...
of war. We still are in a war zone because when you have a government that doesn't secure or guarantee like basic services, it's very hard to live there.
It is.
So just to give you an idea, to understand what is going on, is for example, you don't know if you will have electricity and a big blackout will come, so you will not be able to work. You will have to be at home.
That's so bad.
That means also that the internet doesn't run properly. You don't have a good connection. You don't know if you will be able to stay in a video call for your work. And the worst is when the electricity starts failing because the government doesn't make an investment in the service. Water starts failing too. So you don't know, for example, something simple, if you will get water in tomorrow or after tomorrow or in 3 days or in 5 days. So these basic things that for us in a developed country, you don't have it there anymore. So you don't know if you are going to be to the sink and open and you will get water or not. So you need a tank in your house. But even though there is one day with the water is not going to be there if you don't receive water from the outside. So this makes life harder. But more than this, we used to be the 5th exporter of oil in the world, and now we don't have oil to fill up our tanks. So imagine just go outside. Go outside. You have a car. You need to fill out the tank, but there is no oil or gas in the station. So how you go to work?
Yeah.
So how you distribute food in a country? So it's a complete chaos. But even more right now, it's such a messy country. Everything is so messed up that the economy, we have one of the hyperinflations of the world. So, for example, you have this glass of water, and today it costs 1 bolivar, which is our currency, and tomorrow it will cost 100 bolivars, right? So when you have this type of economy or distortions in the economy,
it's really
which probably Europe is not normal because you are not used to have this type of inflation.
Yeah.
People try to protect the value of the currency, right? And you do that trying to or save your money into physical things, right? or just to change to a strong currency like euros,
Okay.
pounds, yens, cryptocurrency, whatever, right? Something that will not lose value
Yeah,
over time,
exactly.
and especially
that's
from one
quick.
day
Yeah,
to another
exactly.
day. So then I realized people just were asking for dollars. How much is that? $5. How are you asking me for $1 if your economy is in Bolivar? Well, so it happened to be that economy transformed into a dollarization. Okay, so but the big contradiction is people have salaries in bolivars, but they ask for dollars, and dollars only comes from the government, right? That inject that money inside. So little by little, now, if you go, you will find things in dollars, but still people have a salary in bolivars. So it's the most crazy situation you can find in any country. Anyway, as you can have an idea, it's very complicated to remain in a country like that. Needless to say, the insecurity. You cannot talk on the phone in the street. That's not even thinkable.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, of course, I said, no way,
way.
to stay here. No way. This is not an option anymore. So the only option was keep going and look for a better outlook and perspective. So
And this creates.
I went back to United States for sure, and let's see what are the options here.
Okay, and then, for example, how did you manage all of these situations? That, I mean, for sure now you are telling me this, and it's quick and it's wow, but for sure you must be feeling there a lot of insecurities, a lot of thoughts, a lot of what I'm going to do. I'm in a country, I have family, but it's not my country. So how did you manage all these situations?
Yeah, it is true.
The situation of the States that you were going on, like, I don't have anything right now.
You say something that is really the common thing of everything. So at that moment, everything what was in common was anxiety, uncertainty, and unknown perspective, right? In my life in United States and about my life, the life of my family in Venezuela. So it's like, what else? Now what, right? So how this is going to evolve in time. So how I'm going to solve this situation. So yeah, I was in a moment in which I was completely sat down in fear-based thoughts, like sadness, hopeless, seeing like the dark outlook out there, and say like, how I'm going to find a solution to all this, you know? And I was super lucky to come across to a group of people, a person that I call her like my spiritual coach in life, because it was a kind of an angel by the time. She's a psychologist, but she ran a meetup in which many...
Like maybe therapy group?
A therapy group, but this meetup was gathered by hypnotherapy, psychology, psychiatrics, holistic therapy. So it was super interesting to start going to these meetups because they completely changed my mind. And so many of the lessons they used to share there, they have definitely a different approach of how to face problems and challenging situation or difficult situation in our life. So I remember being there. She used to say to me, I was of course very negative and very sad, and she say, just change the perspective. And I say, how can I change the perspective?
But sometimes you need somebody to tell you.
Yeah, and she used to say like, even if the situation is not the best, even if the circumstances around you are not the circumstances or the perfect scenario you was wanted or you expect, change the way you are seeing to things, and things will start changing for you.
Yeah.
So it was really amazing, and all this team of people, they have a very impressive way of seeing life. They were all the time amazed for the simple things, like I'm every day so happy for the blue sky, for the bird singing outside.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like
kitchen.
those are, I believe, like the strongest people mentally. That they're nice, that they can help people, like that really need somebody to. Because in your case, in that situation, you were like, I don't know how to, like, you needed somebody to help you.
Yeah, so I was like, how is this possible? How they can be so fascinated about simple little things in life? Life is not like that. So I was like, every meeting I was going, I was like, how they can be so happy about everything. And I think they knew what is life about. You need to appreciate every little thing of things in your life.
For sure, they had bad moments as well and bad situations that then make them.
Yeah.
Like
when you start discovering them. So the truth is that behind all this, what it is, it's about how we manage our thoughts.
Exactly.
Right? Because at the end, it doesn't matter the circumstances, because big problems are always going to be there. So it's the way how we perceive the situations, how it's going to change the way we react
and how
we
motivated
behave.
are we to change that and to try to find a solution. So you learned with them how to control your thoughts and how to control as well as the aspects of your life that they were not the best.
Yeah. And I think it was a great insight and a change of perspective in my life, and how since then my life changed in many ways, to understand problems and appreciate everything. So a simple of everything is about managing our thoughts, because at the end of the day our thoughts are energy. It will transform how we behave.
And the mind is super powerful.
So just to give you an idea, I was researching and hearing speakers, and so see here. So the National Science Foundation said that a human being can have between 10,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day.
I thought we were just having 5 or 10.
No, but the most interesting thing of this is only 5% of those possible 70,000 thoughts are new thoughts. 5%. So it means we are thinking, overthinking, and rethinking about the same topics over and over and over.
Overthinking is
right.
really,
and
really bad.
Even worse is they estimate that 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts.
For sure. I will say, I will have to say yes.
And this woman, she always said, negativity is like a drug. We are addicted to it. It's very easy to get into negative thoughts.
Then positive. Yeah.
So we need to stop that, because at the end, it's not driving us to a positive thought, to a positive result.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something called placebo effect, and it is positive thinking drives to positive results. So we need to switch that, and we need to be aware of that. So how do we start?
Exactly. I was going to tell you, how do we control these thoughts that they can help you to go through that first seat?
So one of the first, I will say the first step should be aware of our first thought. Are you aware of your first thought in the morning when you wake up?
I mean, I might, there's in times in my life when I really know, which is my thought in the morning. And sometimes I cannot tell you exactly, but sometimes when I wake up more negative, and it happened. And sometimes I wake up more positive as well. Yeah. So you think that's important?
I think it's super important. When we wake up, we open our eyes and say, today is gonna be a great day.
And this can change the mood.
And this can change your mood for sure. And even if you are so stressed out about something, or a meeting, or a conversation, or whatever it is, or your job, a presentation, whatever.
But I believe that's true.
Is to say, look at that, it's super beautiful out there. Or even though if it is rainy, look at that. It's rainy, we need rain.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great day. It doesn't matter if I get wet. So I decide it's gonna be a great day.
And you don't think that sometimes people, they are all the time so positive, they are a little bit realistic? Because of course, for example, it's going to be a positive day, but if I get wet, okay, I'm going to be mad. And do you think maybe people can think, okay, if I'm mad, I'm being negative? You know what I mean?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be worse, because your mood, you are gonna be mad. But if you say, you know what, it's not that bad after all, your behavior is going to change to the situation that is happening outside. So for sure, the way you think will change your judgment, and your judgment is going to change your reaction.
Okay.
So the second thing, speaking about the first thought, is monitor our thoughts, or multiple thoughts during the day. So how are your thoughts? A good thought, a positive-based thought, or a negative-based thought? How are your thoughts during the day? Are you happy? Are you excited about something? Are you looking forward to a meeting, to see your friend, even though to be helpful in your job, to bring help to other people, even though if the situation is not the best? Are you choosing to be optimistic, or in the opposite side, you say, you know what, no, this is not going to work out. This is not helping me. And with that, that is very important. Why? Mm-hmm. Because our thoughts transform into our words, right? How we speak and what we say are reflecting our thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and also it means how our self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? Are you happy about who you are? Are you excited about things? Or are you kind with yourself? Or you are the typical person that's going to say, no, I can't do that. No, I'm not enough for that. I'm not skilled enough for that job. It's for other ones, but not for me. So, in the last minute, you don't realize you are thinking like that. You say, no, it's not for me. It's not enough. I'm not enough for that. So we need to be alert on this and how we talk, because it's a reflection of our thought and how we see ourselves.
Okay.
And that's very important, because that perception will determine how we will behave in many ways.
Yeah.
So the next step will say, going back a little bit, our intention. We need to declare an intention for our day. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be exciting. I choose to enjoy the weather. I choose to enjoy my colleagues when I come to a coworking. I choose to have meaningful conversations. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be effective. What do I want to solve? Declare an intention for your day, no matter where you are going, with who you are surrounded. Okay. Yeah, because that will completely change how the day goes. The other thing I will say so important on this topic about thoughts, it's our focus. To keep focus on what we want. What are you looking for? What are you expecting?
What are your goals maybe as well?
What are your goals? Why? Because if we are not that strong, mentally strong, if we let ourselves to be involved in negativity, it's very easy to lose the focus.
Yes.
So just to give you an idea, in all the situation I had in United States, I wasn't able to work. So I said, how am I going to solve this? So I was able to find out an exception in which I could work in the United States. So I found out a part-time work permit. Then with that part-time work permit, that was not the best tool, but it allowed me to apply and to be hired. So I finally found my job. And I said, there has to be an option. There has to be an opportunity in which I can use my native Spanish, my English as a second language, and my skills as in sales, in communications, and marketing. And it was.
And you found it.
And I found it. And I never lost the focus, of course, because at the end, the focus will allow you to drive into that goal, right? To lead all your actions to go there. So, and finally, I will say, let it go. If it is not for you, let it go. Accept consent. And also, it's time when you go bad, let go. What is not serving to you, what is not helping to you. So at the end, the truth is, Alex, that thoughts are powerful. Thoughts are abundant. Thoughts are contagious. And we need to choose our thoughts wisely. We need to be clever choosing our thoughts every day.
And also, for example, how it was when you came to Portugal. Like, it was easier for you to adapt that when you were in the States, even though you still with a job in the United States, in Arnet Pharmaceutical, right? And when you came here to Portugal, it was a little bit more the experience. It was easier.
Well, so imagine you come to a city, you basically don't know anyone, because, I have my cousin, but it's like, your co-workers are abroad, are not even here. you don't know the city, I say, I'm going to meet people in this city, you know. So of course, I started coming to the coworking, to Avila Space, which for me was a blessing, no doubt. And why? Because it allowed me to make the unfamiliar familiar. It allowed me to create another
a familiar
home.
Space, yeah, like this.
Like this became my space to work. So it allowed me to meet people, to make friendships, to have a space not only to work quietly in an atmosphere, but also to have a time to share, to hang out with people and make friendships. And that's incredibly important, you know, to feel good in a new place, in a new country, that you know at the end is going to be your home for a while.
Yeah.
You don't know how long, but it's going to be. And I always said, and I have been saying to Carlos, and it's really lovely, in Caracas, Venezuela, we have a huge mountain that is called Avila. And so I said, in Venezuela I have my Avila, and in Portugal I have Avila Spaces, my other. So yeah, it was extremely important. And always I said, it wasn't a coincidence, probably, you know. I didn't choose it on purpose. It was a coincidence.
I mean, it was a good coincidence.
Nothing is a coincidence.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah. It was a great selection.
Yeah,
indeed.
Just so thank you so much, Olga, for being here with us. I really like to hear your experience. Of course, also I have a little bit coming from me. It's my journey was not that difficult. I came from another country, but you spend a lot of experiences that are not like that nice. But thank you for sharing your experience, and also to help us understand how to control the thoughts. I thought it was really interesting. As well, thank you for the people who is in the other side watching us. And thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.